A dispensation in the Bible is a set period of time in which man is tested to his obedience to some specific revelation of the will of God. Or to put it more simply, it's a point of time where God deals with his people and the world as a whole in a particular way. Each dispensation has rules in which man must abide by, but usually never do, meaning each dispensation ends with man's failure and God's judgment. There are 7 dispensations in the Bible, and today we're going to talk about the 5th one, which is called Law. The dispensation of law is told from the book of Exodus all throughout the Old Testament into the New Testament. It begins with God delivering the Jewish people from bondage in Egypt. During their travel to the Promised Land, on Mount Sinai, God gives Moses the 10 Commandments and other instructions regarding governing and priesthood. With this, God establishes a government of the theocracy, with him ruling the Jewish people as their God and their king. Now, many events take place during this dispensation. Like I said, it covers the Old Testament into the New, so here's some of the key points and highlights. Israel reconquers the Promised Land. Israel eventually sets up a man-made monarchy, rejecting God as their king and ending the theocracy. Civil war splits the kingdom of Israel into 2 separate kingdoms, both known as the Kingdom of Judah and the Kingdom of Israel. The Kingdom of Israel is conquered by the Assyrians, and the 10 tribes forming that kingdom are lost forever. The Kingdom of Judah goes on throughout history under the rule of various empires, from the Babylonian Empire, the Persian, the Greek, and the Roman. Various prophets preached during this time, urging Israel and the Israelites as a whole to return back to God. The Jewish people failed many times to keep the law, and so we eventually land in the New Testament, where God decides that judgment must eventually come, but this time judgment would not fall on the Jewish people. The judgment falls on God himself, for he becomes the man Jesus Christ and comes down to earth to not only die for the sins of the Israelites, but for the sins of all mankind, and to take up the judgment that humanity deserved upon himself. He dies for the sin of all mankind by being crucified, and after his death and ascension, he replaces the law with something new. And that is the dispensation of law. Next time we will discuss the 6th dispensation, which is known as grace.